In a small town, nestled between quiet hills and a whispering river, lived a man named Arthur. Arthur was not an unhappy man, not in the way we might think. He simply saw the world in one particular way. For him, a cloudy day was not a promise of gentle rain for the thirsty earth. It was a sign that the sun had abandoned the sky, leaving behind a gray and lonely world. A mist bus was not a minor inconvenience, but a clear signal that the universe was conspiring against his schedule. He lived in a world painted in shades of disappointment, where every event seemed to confirm his belief that things were, more often than not, just a little bit wrong. Arthur's house was a reflection of his mind. The curtains were always partly drawn, letting in just enough light to see but not enough to feel the warmth of the day. His garden had flowers, but he mostly noticed the weeds that grew stubbornly between them. He would sip his morning coffee and watch his neighbors, seeing not their joy but the effort it must take to maintain it. He believed he was a realist, a man who saw things for what they truly were, without the sweet coating of illusion. He saw the cracks in the pavement, the rust on the gate, and the slow, inevitable march of time that wore everything down. This was his reality, a story he told himself every single day, and like any story told often enough, it became his truth. He believed that happiness was a fleeting visitor, a brief spark in the long, dark night of existence. He didn't understand the laughter of children playing in the street. To him, it was just noise that would soon end in a scraped knee or a squabble over a toy. He saw the world through a single narrow window, and this window showed him a landscape of shadows and subtle letdowns. It was a safe view, in its own way. If you never expect the sun, you are never disappointed by the clouds. His perspective was a fortress he had built around himself, brick by brick, with every small frustration and every minor setback. It protected him from grand disappointments because he never allowed himself to have grand hopes. This fortress was sturdy, its walls thick and its gates barred. He thought he was observing the world as it was, a detached scientific observer of an imperfect system. But he was not just an observer. He was the architect of his own limited world, the curator of a museum where every exhibit was a testament to life's small but certain imperfections. And he had lived there for a very, very long time. One Tuesday, on his usual walk through the town market, Arthur stumbled upon something unusual. Tucked away in a dusty corner of an old antique shop was a small, peculiar object. It was a kaleidoscope, not the kind for children made of plastic and cardboard, but one crafted from dark wood and polished brass. Intrigued by its old-world charm, he picked it up. The shopkeeper, a woman with eyes that seemed to hold 1,000 stories, simply smiled